Everybody, welcome Lisa Esparza.
Do You Even Binge?
Or Lisa O'Daniel.
O'Daniel Esparza.
Professional name.
No, my professional name is O'Daniel Esparza. That's the one on IMDb.
Yeah.
That's the one on the credits. But
did you ever think that you'll be directing and editing everything? Let's just keep going. Couldn't think of
no, but you know
else.
what? I told you. I think I said this at the beginning of us doing this show that I dreamed as a teenager. I dreamed of being the person who programmed the networks, who got to pick.
That's a badass job.
Who got to pick what shows went at what time slots and what competed against other shows on other networks. I dreamed of that job, and I didn't even know it was a real job, but I knew somebody was doing that, was deciding. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to figure out how to do that. And I didn't go the route of TV production or anything. I went into more like science field at first, and I was pre-med in college and stuff, but I should have really tried to get into TV production. I don't know. Maybe I would have hated myself by now. I don't know. But I love TV so much.
That would be a great game, wouldn't it? An AI game where they give you a bunch of television shows of any year, like a year that you don't know about. You know, and then you see Green Acres, and you see all these shows.
Green Acres is one of my favorite shows ever made.
And without even knowing what day these shows came on originally, they asked you what time slot would you put them, and then AI will figure out if
which one would win.
If you get fired, you go back to the mailroom.
That's a good.
Because AI could figure out too if these shows would have worked at that time slot at all.
Yeah.
But yeah. That'd be a good job. I always wanted it since I was a little kid, and I mean, this is all I wanted. I never thought about the work that comes into it. I just wanted to be behind somebody at SNL waving like this.
Oh, I always wanted to be waving at the end of SNL, but I did not.
Is that stupid or what?
No, and I did some acting and stuff in high school and college, but I didn't really want to pursue that. But I did want to stand on stage and wave goodbye and like talk with each other and like have the little side conversations where you wanted to know what they were saying.
They invite anybody up there, right? Not anybody, but people that were only the guests or like technical crew.
The musicians, the host for that week, all the cast. Sometimes I think the band is in the back now. They used to be on the side, but now I don't even know the setup now. But that's the most recent setup that I remember. With the night, like the alcove over there, like the inset there. But anyway, they would invite mostly cast, musicians, and then the band. And I don't think the crew got up there.
Okay.
They're busy working. But they all got to go to the party every week. I wanted to go to that party too. Some people show up at that party who weren't on the show. Yeah.
I read Dean Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
He was telling me a story about
he was on What's a Fool years ago.
Tracy Morgan being at that show at the after party for SNL with all his friends from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then he'll just be in a side talking to somebody going, "Yo, check out my homie over there talking to Lauren, talking to Lauren Michael about what the Edward telling him." That's how I felt about Wedding Man when Birdman was talking to your boss.
Oh, Birdman was talking to my boss. And, oh, my God. Fred Stoller was, like, neurotic about his jacket that he wore to our wedding because he wore a sports jacket that was, like, this plaid, little checkered sports jacket. He felt underdressed or weirdly dressed, and all he did was talk about it all day. And I was like, dude, I just got married. I don't care. I really don't care what you're wearing. I'm glad you're here. Whatever. Yeah.
He was dressed like No Man.
Who?
From Death of a Salesman. He had the same outfit.
Oh, Biff Loman, yeah. He just had it was like a checkered sports coat. Yeah, which I didn't judge him. I was judging Chepo because he showed up in those jean shorts. Jean shants. They were shants.
Him, Martin's ex and Fresher sat together. Man, they've been good.
Oh, Martin's his ex lady showed up in a like she was Jessica Rabbit to my wedding. She showed up in a bright red floor length gown And yes, exactly like that. No lie. She didn't have big boobs, but still, she's like small, beautiful woman. But that was the crazy one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was violent toward Rizzo back then. But yeah, so she was dressed like that. And I'm like, who shows up? And I think she had gloves. Long, like elbow length gloves. Who goes to a wedding like that? She's in one of our wedding photos, the group photo. Ralphie May was
She was
there.
going to a Nutcrackers ball afterwards because it was in December.
That's right. 12, 13, 14. Let's get back to. Let's. Well, I don't want to talk about that yet. But let's talk about what we did last night.
Last night we went to go watch the premiere of
Burt Kreischer's series.
Yes,
called
Pretty Burt.
Free Burt.
Okay, Free Burt.
BERT. But Free Burt is coming out actually the week that this episode is airing. So next week for us, but it'll be the week of this episode. And it's him and his wife and 2 daughters, and he's kind of an outcast in the neighborhood, or in the neighborhood, the prep school that his wife wants to send the girls to. Like he's the poorest of all the rich people there, and he's just kind of trying to. That scene right there is so funny.
That scene right there
in the studio,
it's the funniest thing I ever watched on television in a long time.
And T-Pain, and Bert tries to like get. Oh my God! Go ahead and let's see if we can watch it. Bert tries to get some clout for his daughter because she's nobody's being her friend at school. Yeah.
Just watch this clip. It is hilarious.
Oh, that Rob Lowe party was so
like freedom and fun and middle finger to the world. I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks.
All I'm asking is for you to behave like a normal person.
Maybe live life with your shirt on.
Those 2 girls that play his daughters are phenomenal.
We need to fit in at this school. We might have to up our game.
Who's this bitch?
That's Kirsten Van. A joint. Hi. Some hot gossip going around about you. What are you talking about?
My daughter just transferred into Barclay, 8th grade.
Walk right in the hand job.
Those comments to the left were probably the funniest things I ever read.
Violated.
You crossed a line with your
He said he took those from real comments on the internet about him.
Suspension. Our daughter hating you. The pig requires a little lipstick. What the fuck said that?
Shut the fuck up, Isla.
Money moves, money make. Intention never late. What it take to be great. Boss energy.
You know what that was?
First and
They
foremost,
didn't show
I
that
was
scene.
so
Maybe that's from a
wrong
future
for the way
episode.
I've
Him
been.
putting on all those shirts.
It's so funny. I grew up
We
in
watched
a
2
trailer
episodes
the same
last
size
night.
as this. Why is that funny? The irony. You started this. It's up to me to finish it. Or finish him, whatever you prefer.
I prefer neither of those!
They might not see through your little facade, but I do. You're gonna go down in flames.
This was your idea.
Don't run away from it. You run right the fuck at it.
This is the change I needed. And
It's such a
long
real
overdue.
family. It's so good.
This is who I am now.
I fucking love you!
I fucking love you!
Free Burt.
Yeah, it was great.
It is hilarious.
Great, and props to Leanne and Bert for that show because they worked very hard on it. Anyway, let's get back to. We are doing indie movies, the indie movie explosion of the 90s specifically, right?
Yes.
And today we're going to talk more about like what spurred that on and kind of just all these movies that came out that embody that independent movie spirit. And then for the next few weeks after this, we're going to talk about like individual directors and their things that came out, right? Like, because the things that were coming out around this time in the 90s was there were like festivals, Sundance Festival officially became Sundance Festival in 91. And like you had offshoots of major studios like Miramax and Focus and all these, now there's like A24 and Neon that knew the power and the longevity of indie films and also profitability too. But so we're going to talk about that. But today more like a hodgepodge of things. So you want to get started?
Yeah.
You want to say anything before we start?
The first indie movie I ever saw that I could think was considered an indie movie was Trainspotting. But I've seen other ones with not knowing they were indie movies.
Yeah. But there's a feel you can usually feel.
You can feel like
low budget.
Because low budget, and you could tell like they're running free.
Yeah, or cheaper film, no rules, like they're breaking conventions.
Even though it might not be an independent movie, but also I felt this maybe I like Trainspotting so much because it has the same thing as Repo Man.
I don't know if it was indie, but
Repo Man was indie?
I didn't look this one up. Repo Man probably is.
Yeah, it was just gritty and dirty, and they show punk when no one else was.
Yeah, I know it's really an LA movie. You love that. You love LA movies that focus a lot on LA.
Orale.
Let me find out. Is Repo Man an indie movie? Yes, it is. It was outside the major studio system. And we could talk about that later too, because that director did a couple of things.
Even the soundtrack is punk rock, and at this time, 1984.
That was 84. See, we should have brought this one in.
Where they were showing heavy metal on television, and like Ozzy, punk rock scene was being ignored in LA.
Yeah. There were indie films back even when, right after the silent film era, or even in the silent film era, but we don't want to go into all of those. I want to focus on a couple from the 70s that inspired the ones that came out in the 90s, 80s and 90s.
Okay.
So we'll talk about Easy Rider first, right, which is widely considered like one of the first indie movie hits, right? And this was kind of doomed to failure at first. Like nobody believed in it. Dennis Hopper was crazy, and he directed it and starred in it along with Peter Fonda. They also wrote the script, supposedly. Actually, another guy named Terry Southern wrote the script, and then once they saw the first screenings, they put their names on it as screenwriters because they did improvise several lines. But you can go ahead and play the trailer. It's basically a road trip on motorcycles, right?
And that's why Peter Fonda got high in this movie and just stood high for another 30 years.
Probably. He had already been busted twice for marijuana possession before this movie was made.
Trailblazer.
It's the story of a man who went looking for America.
I think it's just a rich guy's stoner kid,
anywhere.
slacked off,
Easy
and
Rider
occasionally
stars
produced a
Peter
couple
Fonda.
films. He didn't produce much after this.
You do your own thing in your own time.
But I think he could have, if he really stuck to it, he could have been like
Also
Robert
starring
Redford
Dennis Hopper,
with
the
making.
award-winning
What's the name of the guy from Larry David or Larry King Live or whatever that guy was from that show?
I gotta get out of here, man.
He's the manager of
I got to see
not Jeffrey Tambor, but in that show something live. It's a show about a talk show.
Larry Sanders?
Larry Sanders.
Gary Shanley? Yeah, you're not talking it to the mic.
Gary Shanley. What's the name of the manager? His manager on the show?
His manager's not on the show. The guy who runs the show, Rip Torn, is on there.
Everybody got chicken.
Yeah, he's what's-his-face's friend. He was. Why? Why didn't you have to bring him up?
No, because I think Rip Torn has a little. I saw him one time in an interview, and he was talking bad about this movie because
well,
he was
got in a
involved.
fight.
Yeah, he was supposed to be in it, right?
He was supposed to be. Rip Torn was supposed to be the Jack Nicholson character.
There you go. That's what I mean.
The lawyer. That's what
Rip Torn was he was around these days then, huh?
Yeah.
See, that's what I mean.
Yeah, he was
Rip Torn from the Gary Shandling show.
Yeah.
I don't never know, but I don't.
Because there was a big article that I read. I don't know why I jumped into that article about him, like that he was involved in this movie.
Yeah, he was. So he was supposed to play the Jack Nicholson
grandfather
character.
played in that truck.
He was supposed to play the Jack Nicholson character, but he had a meeting with Dennis Hopper and the director. I mean, and the Dennis Hopper and Peter Fonda and Terry Southern. And Terry Southern was best friends with Rip Torn, the guy who wrote this. And so he had a meeting with him, and then Dennis Hopper came in to the lunch and was complaining about these rednecks he had been dealing with in Texas when he went down to Texas. Rip Torn's like, I'm from Texas, and he got all mad and offended, and so he pulled out of the film. He didn't want to work. And then later he sued Dennis Hopper because Dennis Hopper was on like Johnny Carson or Jay Leno talking about how Rip Torn pulled a knife on him during that meeting, and Rip Torn was like, no, it was the other way around. I'm not standing for this. And he sued him for libel, and he won, or sued him for slander, whichever one.
Hell yeah. Glad you cleared that up for me.
I read that this morning, actually. I wasn't going to talk about it, but
I read that years ago, man. It's been playing in the back of my head.
So the budget was about $360 to $400,000 for this one. Also stars Karen Black and Tony Basil. Did you know that? Oh, Mickey, you're so funny.
Yeah,
She's
I knew
the
that.
other chick at the whorehouse.
They're the ones that were partying with them at the cemetery.
Yeah, at the cemetery. They had this was made mostly without a screenplay. It's a lot of ad-lib lines and really only an outline.
I like it. I could dig it.
So yeah, $360 to $400,000. Eventually earned $60 million and got Oscar nominations as well. Terry Southern was pissed that Dennis Hopper threw his name all on it because he basically Hopper later took credit for the entire script, and then Southern said, if Dennis Hopper improvises a dozen lines and 6 of them survive the cutting room floor, he'll put in for a screenplay credit. It's almost impossible to exaggerate his contribution to this film, but by George, he manages to do it every time. So he just always inflates how much he did for this film. But anyway, this helped kick off a new wave of American cinema in the 60s and 70s. And they realized they could make money from budget film. The Graduate was one of them, and Bonnie and Clyde. Anyway, those weren't indie, but the style of it.
I used to party and play this movie.
Counterculture and disenfranchisement, disenchantment, all that sort of thing. You used to do what?
I used to buy a 12-pack and play this movie when I was a kid.
Which movie? Easy Rider?
Easy Rider. I had the VHS or DVD the VHS at one time.
Oh, wow.
And I would play it and open a 6-pack. It was like watching a whole music video.
Yeah, it is pretty much. That's where they spent that's where they spent all the money. They got an extra $1 million that they had to put toward the songs at the end of the movie when it was being edited. So
I didn't know that. I knew that both of them were actually transferring. They were drug smugglers in the movie.
Yeah, they cut out a lot of stuff, and Dennis Hopper wanted to make a 220-minute long movie. By the way,
because I later on figure out by a biker guy or somebody involved with that kind of lifestyle. He told me that the guy had crank.
Yeah,
that's what they call it, crank, because they would hide it in the crank of the motorcycle.
Yeah, so that's not what they hid in the motorcycle, though. I mean, they smuggled in. They never show those parts, but they smuggled in from Mexico. No, they put the money in the tube.
Oh, I thought it was drugs.
No, they put the money in the tube. They sell the drugs in the beginning.
The drugs were in their saddles like cowboys.
They only sold the drugs in the beginning. They sold all that coke in the beginning to Phil Spector, of all people. He's in the limo. And they sell the drugs to him. Then they put all that money into the tube inside the gas tank.
That's stupid.
Yeah,
hiding the money, but not the.
Because that's why he was afraid of that guy when he's filling the gas tank. He's like, he's gonna see all our money that we worked so hard for, or whatever. Yeah, it's all money. Anyway, that's that one. The next one is Sweetback's Badass Song, 1971, which is technically what kicked off the blaxploitation. You can go ahead and play it. It's what kicked off the blaxploitation movies.
Got a Sweetback.
They don't show little Mario Van Peebles laying fully naked on the full-grown woman in that scene right there. By the way, very creepy.
The movie would never get made.
It would never. No way.
That's my neighborhood, by the way. If anybody wondering where I grew up.
Yeah, in the LA River.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a bunch of his friends mostly. It feels like an extension of the acid trip from Easy Rider, by the way. This is all the fast jump cuts and stuff. And actually, this is the style, that New Wave French style. He learned this in France when he was living there, teaching himself French, and made like 2 French films and wrote a French novel, Melvin Van Peebles. So he learned the filmmaking style and everything. But it's all over the place, honestly. This movie's wild.
That's a good scene right here with this lady.
Yeah.
You just keep leaning and leaning
And leaning and leaning.
My Batman!
Get the
I'm clean, man. Look, I'm clean. There's nothing there. Look. Leave,
Leave,
motherfucker!
In the end, it's one part.
He had no lines, by the way.
Barely. He has a few little and all those things.
Well, she makes it sound even cool, like
the strong silence.
Yeah, like all the characters you see in in Coen Brothers, where they're not even talking. The main guy's not even talking.
Yeah.
But you go, that guy's cool.
Yeah, and he actually was like the first black hero in a movie or black star of the movie, I should say, who wasn't like the black neutered man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you had seen Sidney. They keep referring to that, but you had seen Sidney Poitier, and those types of black men, or Nat King Cole, or it wasn't ever. There was never like a sexual or romantic lead. In a black or as a black actor. So this was the first time. I mean, boy, he just came out swinging for sex, because it's like it's one part political commentary and 3 parts.
And it was a hit, man. Like if you were looking for a proof that sex sells, go watch that movie.
It's crazy. Those sex scenes, and actually he claims all the sex scenes are real in that movie. I mean, of course, hopefully not the one with Mario. Mario just lays there, but still, it's so weird. I mean, it is
He's like
uncomfortable.
12.
He's 13 in that movie.
With 3 legs.
But they don't show that.
Yeah.
He's just laying there naked. You just see his butt. But the woman is, I mean, they are obviously touching body parts and filming it. But he's just like laying there, like staring ahead. It's very bizarre. And
I'm pretty sure you felt that fur burger.
Oh, gross. You're nasty. You nasty. Anyway, this also influenced a lot of future filmmakers in the blaxploitation era, if you want to call it that. In the beginning, it was really black people who wanted to make movies about, their stories and their lives and their environments. And then it became for profit later on from non-black producers and things and actual studios. But Rudy Ray Moore was inspired.
Cheaper and cheaper.
Yeah, Rudy Ray Moore was inspired by this.
Yeah.
He made all those films and self-financed and everything. Dolomite, all the Dolomite movies.
And his movie, that movie right there, that one right there, Dolomite, it's basically like that movie, the movie we saw, because there's a lot of poetry. A lot of rhyming.
Almost a Western style guy, like vigilante type guy.
Dead. And then cheap karate.
Yeah, so in Sweetback, he's a young black orphan. He seeks shelter. This also sounds like the beginning of Richard Pryor's life, and Jojo Dance of Your Life is calling, too.
That's what I thought.
He seeks shelter in an L.A. brothel in the 1940s. He works there as a towel boy and is seduced by one of the prostitutes. From then on out is labeled as Sweetback, referring to his sexual prowess and large penis. The sentiment of the movie is like, fuck white women, fuck the cops, fuck the system.
Yeah.
All set to the soundtrack by Earth, Wind, and Fire. And the budget, there's no actually claim to what the actual budget is, but what's his face? Bill Cosby threw in $50,000 extra to complete the film, oddly enough. And
just bring one of those sleepy women over here.
what was I gonna say?
The budget.
They rated it X, and then he was like, Melvin Van Peebles was like, this is, they used it as a tagline. Then it said, they added a tagline to the posters that said rated X by an all-white jury. And then he said, should the rest of the community submit to your censorship, that's its business, but white standards shall no longer be imposed on the black community. And actually the Black Panthers, by the way, Huey Newton loved this movie.
That's probably why they call it blaxploitation, because the movie got an X.
No, it was called blaxploitation by a head of the NAACP, guy who was like an affiliate of Hollywood. Like he was like the liaison between NAACP and Hollywood. And he called it blaxploitation. But it really, in the beginning, was true indie filmmaking by black artists who also employed black actors and black camera people and crew and that sort of thing. And writers, and it really inspired people and helped them realize I could just make this myself too. Like it can do this. And I have this same dream. And there was an explosion of black filmmakers. But then the studios realized you could make money off these cheap things, and you could just write all this in. It's easy to like throw in these ingredients into a black film, and then they were cranking out things that were promoting the stereotypical like pimps and whores and stuff like that. So, but what I was going to say is Huey Newton loved this film, and he celebrated like the political nature of it. But this was required viewing for the members of the Black Panther Party. This movie. Anyway, from there, somebody who was also inspired by that, but wanted his own. He wanted to change the way black people were depicted in movies. Was Spike Lee. In 1986, he directed and wrote "She's Gotta Have It," which kind of started to show young black people as, emerging professionals or like not just working in crime or being broke or whatever. This woman is She's Gotta Have It focuses on Nola, who is a graphic artist in Brooklyn. This is a pretty artsy film, shot in black and white mostly.
I've never seen it.
And it's
not that I care what people think, but enough is enough.
It's focused on a woman and her sexuality, and she's got 3 guys after her. But
I consider myself
she basically takes the power back, and like, I'm not gonna choose any of you guys. I don't have to just choose.
I saw that poster in that movie Candyman.
Oh yeah? That poster's in Candyman?
I don't know.
The budget for this was $175,000. Ended up earning $7 million.
I really like the way it looks.
And the only reason Spike Lee's in this because he couldn't afford to. He's one of the suitors.
I've never seen anybody who like.
He's Mars Blackman. He's the one that showed up in the basketball commercials later in the 90s. But he had his hat flipped the way Butch puts his hat.
Yeah.
Here he is, right there.
It seems
but
that men are taught not to.
He put himself in because he couldn't afford to pay another actor. So.
I'm everything that you.
But this was his first. Then he got the next one. Do the Right Thing was also indie technically when it was made, but it was distributed by I think Universal distributed that one, and they got a big boost of money. That one was a lot bigger. That was $6 million for that. For Do the Right Thing.
School Days.
School Days was much later, and that had a much bigger budget. Although he still does produce in an indie style, where he'll produce and like. He'll take less from the distributor in order to have creative control. That's the biggest thing for him is creative control. You could hear his dad's music in the soundtrack. His dad always does his music. Anyway, anything else about that? Stranger Than Paradise is also another one that was an early indie movie. Jim Jarmusch. You like this movie, right? This is the one. He's Hungarian, and his cousin comes to visit.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like her. He's Hungarian American, and he like considers himself just American. He doesn't like her speaking in Hungarian, so he's like, "You're gonna speak English the whole time." And he's putting all these rules down, like, don't act like. So I don't know. He wants her to act cool, and he lives in Manhattan. She came from Cleveland, right?
Yeah, from Cleveland.
And then his friend is the dude from Ferris Bueller, the guy we were talking about a couple weeks ago. Ed, I forgot to write his name down. I can't remember his name. Ed something.
Yes, I'm not hungry.
That's John Lurie right there, who was in Lounge Lizards.
Yeah.
Band. But this.
Supposed to eat it while you watch TV.
This movie was like a darling in the indie circuit in the beginning.
I know what it
This is 1984.
Where does that meat come from?
This was a $100,000 budget,
Really?
and he used leftover film stock from Wim Wenders, who he had worked with as an assistant, to shoot the short that became this movie.
I think Peter Green's in this movie.
It doesn't even look
Oh,
like
Peter
meat.
Green's in this too? And then it ended up earning about $2.5 million ultimately.
I got my meat. I got my potato.
And I think
I got my vegetables. I got my
I
dessert.
think Peter Green's in this movie.
the Italian actor from Roberto Beniti's in it. Roberto Benito.
Roberto Benigni.
I don't want to take her away. Te egy gazember vagy. Te egy gazember vagy. Ne vidd el őket. Nekem szükségem van őre. Ő csinálja nekem a konyhamunkát. Ne vidd el őket. Hadd vidd őket, mert én akarom őket. Ne vidd el, te gazember, te félhámos, te. Good for nothing. Hadd itt azt az asszony. Ne vidd el a níszemet.
I remember you get like cut 10 times. You just kept going.
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. No Peter Green in here.
Okay.
Rocket Red Glare is in this, though. He's a poker player before prison, I guess. Anyway, that's that one. But this changed people's minds about what indie film was about, and it didn't seem as artsy. Although I see you like Jim Jarmusch. I see Jim Jarmusch as very artsy and pretentious, but he did inspire a lot of other directors around that time. But what was the one called Dead Man that he did with Johnny Depp? That was probably the one that went the farthest for him.
Never seen that one.
You never saw that one? Yeah, Johnny Depp, and it feels a little bit like that. You know what? It feels a little bit like that movie. Remember that Alfred Hitchcock? No. It's a Twilight Zone where he presents that movie from France, where the guy is about to be hanged, and then he escapes. It looks like the Civil War, but it's not Civil War. It's in France. But the rope snaps when he's being hanged, and he lands in the water and he swims to freedom. And then the rest of the movie's about him being chased. Dead Man's not really about that, but it feels like that movie. But anyway, I wasn't gonna do a trailer of that, just mentioning it. The next one we're talking about is also the 80s, 1989. It's Sex, Lies, and Videotape, written and directed by Steven Soderbergh. And tell me what this movie's about.
This movie is a movie about a guy making a movie and all the drama involved in a movie.
No,
when you're
Sex,
making
Lies,
a
and
movie.
Videotape.
Yeah, they're making a movie in this movie.
No.
Oh, never mind. Wrong movie.
That's the next
This
one.
movie, man, is about a guy that somebody fucked this lady back in the day and it ruined his life. So he comes back with a pre-podcast idea to interview women, but the whole plan was to get revenge on his best friend who slept with his girlfriend.
That's the plot. Kind of. Yeah, it's a yuppie couple who's unhappily married. I mean, she's comfortable.
And there's a woman with Tina Turner hair through the whole movie.
Tina Turner hair lady is her sister, Andy McDowell's sister. They're two different personalities. And Andy McDowell's husband is having an affair with her sister, and for a while now. And then James Spader comes back to town to hang out with Peter Gallagher, and he's weird now, I guess, right?
Yeah.
He's an old college buddy who's weird now. He's all into this thing where he's making films. Look at all those videotapes of different women talking. He's impotent, James Spader, but he loves. The only way he can get aroused is by watching women talk about sex. So he finds women who are kind enough to do a videotape talking about sex and their sexual experiences or sexual fantasies. And he does the same with Andy McDowell, which pretty much ends her relationship and ends who she is in this movie. Changes everything.
The fight.
Peter Gallagher watching her tape there.
Boom. Take that.
Is this the last of the James Spader fabulous hair era?
Yeah, because after Sarah Connors took that hair, it was over.
Sarah Connors would never. Her hair is horrible
You
compared
didn't
to
see
James Spader.
That's Sarah Connors.
No,
That's Sarah
look how
Connors.
fluffy and golden that is.
That's Sarah Connors
Sarah
before she saw the
Connors-
Terminator.
Sarah Connors is like thick and blunt cut.
Very thick, huh?
Looks like it would hurt if I touched it.
Her hair like the little girl from
James
Christmas
Spader's
Vacation.
James Spader's looks like cotton candy or something. It's all fluffy. And then now he has no hair. James Spader in Pretty in Pink. James Spader. Look at that. Top left. No, top, yeah, right there. That was top. That was prime James Spader hair.
Probably a wig back then already.
No, I don't think so. That was prime James Spader hair. And then, yeah, not so much anymore. There he is on the right with no hair. No hair.
He went from a client to an agent.
I know he did. Every agent in Hollywood looks like that, by the way.
Even Bert's agent looked like that.
Oh, yeah. Bert's agent is technically your agent. He's the head of all your agents.
Oh, that's right.
He looks like him. Budget for Sex, Lies, and Videotape was $1.2 million. Ended up earning $36 million. Soderbergh wrote this in 8 days on a yellow legal pad during a cross-country trip. And he wasn't going to cast Andie MacDowell. I can't stand Andie MacDowell, by the way. Yeah, I love Groundhog Day.
I would have casted Roger McDowell.
I love Groundhog Day, but she cannot act to save her life. And he thought she was weak as an actor after watching Greystoke, so he wasn't going to consider her. But then she had 2 good auditions.
I liked her in Step Brothers as the mom of Will Ferrell.
She's not the mom of Will Ferrell.
She's not?
No.
Oh, my God.
You thought she was the mom of Will Ferrell? That's Mary Steenburgen is the mom.
Same age, right?
Ted Danson's wife, yeah. No, maybe same age. I don't know how old she is. She's Margaret Qualley's mom.
Andie MacDowell, by the way, during COVID, she snuck into a park that was closed because of COVID. They got a picture of her going under the gate with her dog.
Mary Steenburgen's probably almost 80 now, I think, or 70s.
Yeah, you gotta dye those locks, man. Nobody wants to see that. Like Brillo.
Steenburgen. You know what? You got it though. That's her. Steenbridge. 72. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, she's different. They're different ladies.
Okay. Same age.
No, Andie MacDowell's about 5 years younger. Andie MacDowell was a model first, and then started acting. But I will tell you,
in Georgia, Peaches.
What?
She's from Georgia, right?
Yeah, she's Southern. I don't know if it's Georgia, but she's from she's from somewhere Southern. But she's Margaret Qualley's mom, the girl in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You know, and we just saw her.
She's in Groundhog Day.
Yeah, she's in Groundhog Day. I just said Groundhog Day at the beginning of what I said. But she started acting. The worst performance of anybody, maybe Body of Evidence with Madonna, but the other one is Andie MacDowell in, I think it's called Object of Beauty. Look that up. I think it's Matt Dillon and John Malkovich and Andie MacDowell, I think. And I walked out of that movie and I was 20 something. It is the worst movie. Oh yeah, Andie MacDowell.
I never heard of that movie.
Yeah. It is so bad. It's some of the worst acting by her only. I mean, Matt Dillon and John Malkovich are trying. She's so bad in this movie. I don't know.
They're sexy, sophisticated, and successful.
Old trailer, man. I saw this for $1 at the dollar movie, and I walked out. Or $1.50 movie.
If they could
in
just
college.
Work out a few small problems.
Oh, I look like Billy Bob. Huh? He's like a rich older man, and
sex price is no object.
Good shoes are important.
Your credit cards being refused. I am on the verge of something very lucrative. So for you to even be talking about dishonor.
Anyway, we don't have to show the trailer of this. It's not.
What's it about?
I think
he's broke.
He's a rich guy, and she's like a trophy wife type for him. He only wants her because she's pretty and young, and then I think she ends up having an affair with Matt Dillon. Let me see what this is. Here it is. Oh, okay, you're right. He has. Okay, so he's been spending beyond his means, but he lied to her about how much money he actually made.
Okay.
What's his face? Matt Dillon in this movie? Maybe I'm thinking of mixing up two movies here.
That's what I thought. I thought you said Matt Damon at first.
No, Matt Damon would have been a baby at that point.
No.
No? Okay, I'm all mad. Wrong about that.
Chompers.
Show me those Little Darlin pictures. We're going to talk about Little Darlin later. Little Darlins. another day when we talk about camp movies. Those camp movies are the best. But anyway, let's Sex, Lies, and Videotape. That's pretty much it. But on that one, you anything else about Sex, Lies, and Videotape? Was that the first time you saw it?
Yeah, it was good though. I liked it.
It was good.
It felt like a 90's movie. Or 80's movie, just felt the vibe.
I think it was based a lot on his own relationships, because Soderbergh said, like, I was an ass when I was younger, and like cheated on a girl I cheated on the most important woman in my life, and like he couldn't commit basically, and she left.
Living in Oblivion, man.
Living in Oblivion is the last one before we talk about the last one.
Oh, that's the one I told you about. That.
So tell me what this
one
is about.
I really love this movie because I didn't. It's like watching that other movie by Christopher Guest, For Your Consideration.
Kind of, yeah.
But they show you the interwines of a movie, man, and it's hilarious. I didn't even know that so many problems occur in independent movie making.
How'd you get into You've been in indie movies. You didn't know that?
Yeah, but they exaggerate the problems in the movie.
Yeah, they're exaggerating them, yeah.
Like we couldn't find Paul Rodriguez.
Yeah, when Paul Rodriguez was sleeping at home.
Yeah.
Still. Yeah.
And then you said that your friend was in a movie set where the guy stabbed somebody.
Yeah. It messed her up for life. It messed her up for a long time.
I was in a movie set where the sound guy was fighting with a director.
Yeah.
And then the prop guy was, because the sound guy was not hearing the cues for he was not getting his cue for sound, so that fool got all mad because he was a sound man during a Heart to Heart.
And confusing.
Oh, that's right. He kept throwing around his Heart to Heart credits, right?
Yeah.
On the set in 2014.
This movie was hell. I didn't even.
Yeah, so I saw this years ago in the theater, by the way. This is the first credited role for Peter Dinklage. He doesn't come in until almost the very end.
Donna's in it.
Jarmusch's brother, by the way.
Yeah.
Donna from La Bamba is one of the productions, like the second AD or something. James LaGrosse here. He's like a hunky actor who comes in and tries to woo all the other actresses.
In a love story.
And then Catherine Keener, who's having an affair with, well, not having an affair, but she had a little one-night stand with that guy.
And Oblivion.
Steve Buscemi's the director. It's kind of it's a dream. It's like an anxiety dream that's recurring. That's really what the movie is.
Yeah.
It's dream and another dream and another dream about basically everything going wrong. And then it shows the actual drama on set. You're not really sure what's actual and what's imagined really in the end. And you know what? His last name, Steve Buscemi's character's last name is Rêve, R-E-V-E, which means dream.
Dream.
In French. But it's a great movie. And I think it's when Catherine Keener and what's-his-face, Dermot Mulroney met and they weren't officially married, I don't think, but they were there together for like 25 years.
Wow.
But she, the funny thing is, this movie was, let's see what the budget was on this one. It was rejected by every producer and studio. He had made Johnny Suede like a year before with Brad Pitt and was hoping to make another movie, and then he couldn't because he didn't have enough money, and it was floundering. And then he went to he decided to make a movie about his frustrations trying to make this movie. So
he should have hit a Bill Cosby for a little 50 G's.
I know, right? So he had a very low budget. There's varying figures here, but about $500,000 in the budget. But he didn't want to go ask for money. He didn't want to ask anybody for money. So he asked friends and family. He didn't want to go like begging like companies and financiers or producers and things. So he got friends and family to throw in, and all the actors worked for free. Every actor in that movie worked for free. And some of them even threw in money. Some who had been in movies and had a little bit of money, they threw in money, and they got producer credits on it as well. But that's
so Steve Buscemi worked for free in this movie?
Yes, everybody.
That's why he didn't get his teeth fixed.
I like his teeth.
Me
their
too.
Character. If without his teeth, he wouldn't have a career. He just had the buggy eyes, maybe, right? Those teeth, they made him a...
With good teeth, it looked like Donald Duck, so...
With good teeth wouldn't fit the rest of his face,
no.
Right? Anyway, that was that movie. And then the next one is our last one that we're going to talk about. And this one actually wasn't one of the pioneers. This was a documentary about two guys, one guy really, who had a dream to make a movie. So the movie that we're focusing on is not the actual movie that these guys made, but it's a documentary that other filmmakers made of these guys. So go ahead and play the trailer. Mark Borchardt from Wisconsin. He's dreaming of being... This is actually Coven right here. Coven. Sorry.
Coven. ADR.
That's the film. That's his friend, Mark. That's Mark. His
happy.
friend Mike was screaming.
His whole life is making this one film.
You have 2 hours tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and be an extra in a film. You get your name on the credits.
From 11 a.m. to 1
And of course, there'll be a whole crowd of people here, so we got to make like a line where people can't go. Have a hell of a lot of assistant directors saying, hey, could you step back like 5 feet? I think my mom's going to have to end up going out in the woods.
I have my shopping to do.
Okay, you got to spread apart that way.
She's a Swedish immigrant living in Wisconsin.
Except for Mike Shank right there.
She believes in herself.
Partying together, but I don't party anymore.
Hey, Mike, make sure everyone has brown gloves.
Mike's a former drug addict and alcoholic. And he's...
I'm broke, man. I gotta get
Mark is a continuing alcoholic throughout this movie.
The name of the film is Coven.
Continually worse.
Those are 4 kids.
4 kids. These are some of the local actors here.
That's Humphrey Bogart of that show.
She wants to be in your film, Bill.
That's the executive producer of the movie.
Yeah, so he's always had a dream of being a professional filmmaker, but for now he delivers newspapers and does other odd jobs like janitorial services at a funeral home and a university. He's deeply in debt, still lives with his parents, and is pretty much an alcoholic. He also has 3 kids from an ex-girlfriend for whom he cannot pay child support. We're going to show that one in a second, a little more in depth. But.
Take 30. Cut. You gotta watch your teeth too, because they clack a little bit when they loosen up in the mouth.
Oh, no, I see there's a flame there.
Oh, no. What are you talking about, Ma?
That's when he's doing the reshoot, just him and his mom right there. She's holding the camera.
I know.
And she goes, my hand is tired.
You get it?
Just hold it. I'm doomed, Mom. I'm doomed. Just hold it for 5 seconds.
Sales. What do you think about that?
Multiple sales to who?
We get to see Americans and American dreams, and you won't.
It's funny when I was writing about Bill. Well, I was researching about Bill.
Mockery. You understand that, Mike? No. Well, you will. Would you buy this movie for $14.95?
Hell yeah, man.
If I can find 3,000 people like you across this country, man, I'm in business.
Yeah. So American movie that highlighted that basically brought on another round of people wanting to be filmmakers, and those 2 guys became they were on the cover of all these filmmaking magazines, because there were filmmaking magazines back then that were hot, like Vice, focused on filmmaking, and Film Threat, and all these other film magazines that were highlighting all these indie
they were on Family Guy.
Yeah, they were on Family Guy. They've been in part of pop culture. I think they were on The Simpsons too, maybe.
Hey, can you put my Coke in the refrigerator, please? Pepsi.
Yeah. So, go ahead and play the "I Was a Failure" clip. The next one.
Like a lot of people, they watch people that work out. They listen to Joe Rogan. This is my motivation right here, man.
I was a failure. And I get very sad and depressed about it, and I can't be that no more.
A lot of people, they watch
betrayed myself.
physical trainer, lift weights. Me, I just watch this 10 seconds every day, and I get up and I try to come up with a joke or something. because I was a failure, and I don't want to be a failure. I don't want to get up in the morning and go pick up 2,000 flags out of a funeral. I don't want to drive an Uber, man.
Yeah, that's one of his jobs, cleaning up those flags off the graveyard.
I don't want to go leave my kids somewhere so I could watch someone else's kids, you know?
This time I'm not going to fail. This time it's most important not to fail, just to drink and dream, but rather to create and complete.
Yeah, he starts production on Northwestern, a feature film he'd been planning most of his life. However, that production's not getting off the ground because he doesn't have any money for it. So he decides to raise money. Who thinks like this? I need to finish this film. No, Northwestern is that one film.
Yeah.
But who decides, okay, I need to make money for that film, so I'm going to make another film to raise money for this film? Because film is expensive. I mean, these people are shooting on film. Film itself was expensive.
You gotta see his graph. He says, if I could make Coven and sell 1,000 copies at $14, I'll have the 14,000. Screw this. Right now, what's more important? Sorry about that. That's when he goes talk to Bill.
I know. Then he talks to his uncle Bill, who I'm going to show in a second. But
he was maxing out cars like your ex. What you were saying?
Yeah, my ex. His plan was to raise money, to basically max out a bunch of credit cards and just pay the minimum payment for life on those
doesn't it build up though?
Huh? Yeah, well, the interest, of course, your interest on that is going to make it. Yeah, it's going to make the principal. If you max it out, then you're going to be over the maximum every month, pretty much, for a long time while you're just paying the minimum. You're not making a dent in that debt. But anyway, I don't want to get into descriptions about finance again, like we did with our Christmas episode.
Oh yeah, fine.
But he receives financing from his uncle Bill, whose decline we start to witness, which is sad throughout the entire movie. And spoiler alert, he does not make it to the end of this documentary. He's supporting Mark, but he kind of knows deep down that Mark's trying to hustle him.
Yeah.
He somehow is sitting on it's $280,000 he has in the bank that he's never spent, and he's just been a single man this whole life, and he lives in a trailer, and he looks like desolate, but he looks like he doesn't have money for food that week, but he has money sitting.
He look like David Carradine if they would dug him out right now.
Yeah, so he knows Mark's trying to get some of the money before he dies. Same old. And let's play some of this Bill here. But he's a smart guy. He was an engineer, right?
Come true.
What do you do at that age? Just wait, huh?
No sound, huh?
What's your American dream?
I don't have any dreams anymore.
You don't?
No.
You can't stop now. What are you going to do, sit around outside of a trailer? We'll film you sitting outside of a trailer, man.
I'm trying to exploit this old man. He just wants to sleep.
Hello? Come again? Come again?
You know what, though? They describe him as senile.
Stay a while.
But he's not senile.
No,
he's smart.
He's pretending right there.
He's pretending. He's throwing it on. He's laying it on.
As long as you can.
He says some profound things throughout this movie.
Heaven help you. God help you.
This is closer
Jesus
to the end
you.
when he's not doing
Everybody
well.
else help you. Everybody make happy. Make everybody happy. Be a comedian.
Do we have? Oh, I have another clip of Bill later, but yeah. So that's Bill. Mark is hardworking for sure and knows a lot about filmmaking from what he's researched, the movies he's watched and loves. But he's poor at planning and can't communicate with his actors as a director. And he uses friends and family and neighbors for his crew and cast, and that causes its own problems. And here's a little bit of him directing right here. Not this one, the other, yeah, that one.
Schimmels is going to get his head put through. I put a few scores in here to lessen the blow.
It is a horror movie, so he's going to be slamming this guy's head into the...
I remember the actor said, he goes, when we were shooting this scene, I was hoping that we wouldn't have to reshoot this scene already. Oh, wow. Wow.
Oh, man, you all right?
All right.
What? Well, this door opened up.
Look at Mark right here, man. He's frustrated. He starts punching it.
Again.
That hurts, right?
Yes. I mean, he's using his arm a little to brace, but it's still.
Well, he's gonna break his hand. Oh yeah,
Oh, dude. You know what? I'm sorry you tried to put your head in this. This is gonna be like take some shit.
I'm sorry. I was trying to put your head through this.
I just broke my hand.
Come out here, man. Come out here, man. Nerves twitching, please. Fingers. Just the fingers. Just the fingers. Just the fingers, man.
What did his brother say? The neighbor gave him his camera and instant filmmaker.
Instant filmmaker.
We always thought he was suited for factory work or something.
Yeah, we thought he was more suited for working in a factory. You can play this. This is about his friend Mike Shank. He's the curly-haired guy, recovering drug addict and alcoholic, who's now addicted to scratch-offs and Diet Pepsi.
Dragged me outside and laid me on the grass.
This is his
hoping I'd
last
wake up,
drug story.
And then her grandma came home, who she lived with, and her grandma called an ambulance, So I'm laying in the hospital, passed out. They got my brain on a brain scanner, and you know how your brain's supposed to beat, 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 beat? Mine just went straight across, And the doctor goes to my mom, he goes, I don't think your son is going to make it. Sorry, I think he's going to die. I don't think there's any way we can bring him, wake him up or nothing, So
he's laughing to inside.
I smell this real strong smell, and it's smelling salts they got in front of my nose, and I start to wake up, and all I see is bright lights, and I'm like, damn, where the hell am I, And then I realize I'm in the hospital, so I start checking my pockets for the acid, which they analyzed one hit. It turned out to be water paper dipped in liquid PCP with a little bit of downer in it. And they said if it hadn't have been for that little bit of downer, I would be dead. But anyways, I'm checking my pockets for the acid, because I was going to drop my other 3 hits in the hospital, And all of a sudden my mom walks in the room, and she's holding a bag of acid like this, I'm like, damn, now I can't drop it. The rest of my acid in the hospital. So she flushes it down the toilet, And then they kept me in the hospital.
Market for the old Sweetback machine. Nobody uses those anymore.
It's the worst case they ever had. And they let me go, and I continued using drugs all the way up until a little under a year and a half ago. And that's I have more stories like that I could tell you too.
I can't believe that.
He has more stories like that.
So his acid had PCP in it and other stuff. So it was just
downer,
so it was too strong.
It was too strong.
And it took too much.
And he took too much. He wanted to take more.
He was about to take 3. He would have killed him.
Yeah. But he said if it hadn't been for the downer that was added to it.
Yeah.
Whatever downer. He just says downer in a general term, like whatever downer they put in there. That helped him survive. He wouldn't be alive if there wasn't a little downer in it. You know what I mean? Like it balanced out whatever was the other stuff was doing to his brain, I guess. But anyway, go ahead and show the next one.
He's pretty fried though.
He is fried, for sure.
That's his neighbor right there. This guy, his best friend.
Best friend for years.
He gets picked out of jail during the movie, by the way.
His build toward the end. Not very good at all.
Dude, what's up, man? I ain't seen you for a while. Your smiling face? What the hell you got to say for yourself?
Mike is happy because he wants $60 in a scratcher, but he's not letting everybody know.
He's not telling him though.
Because they don't want to borrow money.
He tells him
Well, you're lucky
right
you
here
got all
after.
that cartoon taken care of.
Yeah.
His laugh kills me.
You look happier than hell, Jack.
Yeah, so do you.
Well, I ought to be, man. But you know that we don't.
Well, I won $50 on a lottery ticket today. But I don't want them guys to know.
Them guys.
Because otherwise they'll want to borrow money from me.
It's true, man, because then he goes, he goes, what are you gonna do with it? And he goes, I don't know. And he's like, I know I could get a pitcher of beer and you could sit with me and watch me drink beer. And he's like, I don't want to do that.
He goes, I don't either, but if you want to, I will.
He throws out an idea for how to spend that money on himself. Like, I'll spend your winnings on me and you could just sit and watch me. You don't drink beer, but you could sit and watch me drink beer with your winnings.
But I don't want to spend it on that. Me neither, but if you want to, I'm down. Then throw it again.
He's not really his friend. I mean, he's his friend just because he can use Mike, you know, and use him for like he's a reliable person that he has hanging out. He'll probably be good for a ride, good for $5 here and there, you know, whatever. He's his support animal.
I know because later in the movie he tells,
he really doesn't seem
like
to look
after
at him
all
as
that
a
help,
friend.
he shouldn't be telling him. Yeah, you totally ripped that song off.
Yeah, I know. He should be loving because he's a phenomenal guitar player, by the way, Mike Shank.
All ideas come from somewhere. No, remember, you fucking totally ripped off that song.
Yeah. And Mike, by the way, died, unfortunately. He had been sober for all that time up until he died, and he had gotten married not too long before he died. But he died, I think he had a heart condition or something like that. A few years
Look
ago.
at Mike down there. He's old.
But Mark is still alive, yeah.
Mike, American movie.
Yeah, he died. What year was that he died? 2022.
When was he born?
66.
Oh.
Just a couple of years older. Anyway.
Could have hung out.
That's American movie. Well, actually, no, sorry. I have a couple more things. There were some problems during production, obviously, of his Coven movie. Well, let's talk about Coven at the first clip we have here, because it is spelled like the word Coven. It is the word Coven.
And it's available to watch on YouTube, I think.
Isn't there another clip out there?
Coven?
No.
Hilarious. I thought that was Mike Shank, but it's Butch and Felipe.
First one at the bottom. Bottom. Lower than that. Yeah. They don't have. I don't have it.
Don't follow him during shooting the movie?
I must not have saved it by the time you opened it.
Because I know that him and his wife or ex-wife were fighting.
Look up pronunciation of Coven. Look pronunciation of Coven. Pronunciation and then American movie or
He started off writing that horror radio show, by the way.
It's pronounced Coven, man. What else could it be pronounced?
Coven. That's the proper.
That's the word.
Richard George.
No. Coven sounds like oven, man, and that's just it doesn't work.
Coven.
These kids are saying Coven.
Coven?
Unless you want to put an umlaut or something over the.
A what?
A what?
Yeah, hold on a second. Yes.
Possible.
You have a clip of him, even though he's mad at the Packers. Well, he's happy the Packers won.
No, I
but he's also mad that all the blue collars in the area are going to be happy because he's like anti-blue collar.
No, we don't have that.
Anti-getting a job. Just so funny.
I couldn't find a lot of clips.
That's when the dad kicks him out of the house.
Yeah, I wanted to find him being all mad that he couldn't get any beer too. Remember, like he's mad at his mother and everybody because he couldn't have any more beer. And he was like, drive me to the bar or to the whatever the store, and she said, no, I'm not going to drive you.
How about his girlfriend that goes, well, if you could complete 2% of your idea, that's pretty good. Really?
Couldn't find those. I know. You got to go watch the movie, but there are a couple more clips. Let's watch the Scream compilation here. This is them trying to get the perfect scream.
You're burning in fucking hell. Move up a little bit, Robert. Okay, cool. And take 2.
This guy, man, James.
So serious. It's so serious, man. He shows up in a cape and a cane to the forest scene.
Ready, Mike? When I say take 1, give it a couple seconds. Take 1.
Mike, of course, knows exactly what Mark wants.
Heavy metal, yeah. He would die to do that heavy metal, yeah.
What? How happy Mark is. That was wicked, man. They're all proud of him.
When they're looking for people to help.
That's it. They're childhood friends. They know what movies they like. They know the Scream Queen movies they love. Like, they're really excited about that.
I like when he puts up the ad for someone to help him with a movie. That one guy that shows up. What? There's a guy out there that his whole heart and soul is to make this movie. Of course, I'll volunteer 20 Saturdays out of my life to make that happen. If that's his only dream, I gotta help him.
You have to. Stranger.
Then you see that guy later on. He's actually working, but they show him calling. They show Mark doing the phone call of calling people. He goes, "Hey man, I'm wondering if you're available at 2 p.m. I really need your background." It's me, Mark. I live 3 doors from you.
Yeah, it really, he never gives up.
Never.
That's one thing that kept him going, was he just never stops. If you, like, you tell people that too when they do comedy and stuff, and like if they're doing stand-up and you say the only ones who didn't make it are the ones who quit. Because you make it at different levels. There's different levels of making it, and maybe you end up being a writer. Maybe you end up being a comedic actor. Maybe you be in sketches. Maybe you end up just doing the road circuit, like as, an opening comic or whatever. There's a lot of different levels. And, or you just keep trying and you can do fundraisers all over town.
The comedians, there's comics that have been doing it for longer than me. Yeah. And they're still at the same level from when they started. I don't know how happy they are, but I could name them. I could name them right now.
They're doing it, and they don't have a 9-to-5 job.
If I could name you as a stand-up comic that I've known for 25 years, even though you're not rich, let me tell you right now, you made it, bro. Because you're known. You're part of the conversation. What did the Kramer say? I arrived.
Yeah, I arrived. But he also says something like part of the zeitgeist.
You're part of
you're part of the zeitgeist.
Like I could reach over and go, oh, there goes fucking Ruben Quintana over there selling houses.
If you wrote a book about the history of Latino comedy, you guys would definitely be in there.
You'll be under this piece of shit guy that's still around.
The guy who robbed everybody in the Inland Empire.
That pretty much summarizes every independent filmmaker back then, where he's sitting down with his mom and he's going, "Fuck, I owe $300 for the gas card.
Yeah.
Oh, I owe my daughter $60 for gas from yesterday. I owe AT&T Visa for this.
All the bills. Yeah.
I owe man." He goes, they're gonna audit me, or they're gonna take my fucking horror book, my fucking Night of the Living Dead book. Kick ass! I just got approved for a new visa.
Yeah, he gets a new credit card in the mail. He's just gonna max.
When you were that young, well, when you were like 5 years younger than him, and you had a brand new visa, would you actually use it? You were smart enough not to.
I used it.
Okay,
I used a couple, but I ended up paying it back. But I did overextend myself because I was broke going to college and living on my own, and my mother was not. I wasn't living off my mother, and she didn't have any money to live off anyway. What am I talking about? There's no money to be had. But I was living by myself, and then I would live off my credit cards. Like I would buy groceries and buy gas, basically all my necessities, and I didn't have a lot to make a dent in my credit cards.
When you were producing Translate This, did you have a budget that you had to stay at, or did you try not to go over it, or you just didn't care?
Well, it was our money, so it was a self-imposed budget. But I had a certain amount for each thing that we tried our best to stick to. There are always surprises that come up, and you're like, fuck, like the rental price for equipment for something, crane. Well, for Translate This, we had that big ass banner in the background, the 30-foot banner that we made, 30 by 11 or something like that. And that banner, it was made down in Southern California, south of LA. They trucked it up. It was fabric that this guy printed it on, and they trucked it all the way up by hand and brought it to the San Jose Improv from LA. Like they drove and everything and brought that up there. It was an extra fee we paid for it, which I didn't count on. But I couldn't have anything shiny back behind you because it was going to cause a bigger problem with the lights and everything. So it needed to be that fabric scrim. You know, it was like that thing fucking threw me for a loop because Claude, the director, wanted to put an LED screen back there, and I was like, dude, I do not want an LED screen. It's going to look bad. And I'm glad we did not go with that. I'm really glad we didn't go with that. But, you know, there's always production issues that throw you off.
Let that guy go. That's a lot taken out of the wallet.
It is a lot of taking out the wallet. Like I was literally craft service.
They wanted little straws.
I was craft service. I was running up and down those stairs in the 100-year-old place. We had to have a generator that we had to pay extra for because the improv was in that 100-year-old building that Charlie Chaplin Houdini used to perform there, and that place was crumbling, and their electricity grid, like their power grid, was not strong enough to handle all the equipment and everything. They also didn't have lights that came down, so everything had to be like we had to get a scissor lift, which we didn't expect, so people could get up and move the lights and things. But there weren't automatic lights back then. Now the improv's all redone over there. But let's show one last clip from this, the very last one there with Bill, because this is him trying to get Bill to say a line, basically.
It's the first line of the film, man. It's got to be on the money here. Roll down the window,
Is ADR? Or yeah, ADR.
This is the ADR.
It's all right.
Okay, cut.
Jesus told me so.
Shit. You gotta give it some passion too, man. And you gotta. It's all right. It's okay. There's something to live for. Jesus told me so.
It's all right. There's something to live for.
He's so much like Flacco, man.
So.
Okay, great, Bill. But we have to have fluidity in there.
It's all right. It's okay.
Okay, cut. You got to bring passion to it. A message. It's a message.
See, I feel like unsynced sound would be easier to work around because you're cutting audio.
Yeah.
And you're putting it over existing footage.
Okay, I believe we can do this. I believe this can be done.
I think
Bill.
that's easier to cut around
man,
than
Mike,
video.
why don't you keep track of what takes these are, man? Is this fucking take 7? Okay,
take 7.
Man.
It's all right. It's okay.
It's me and you shooting a promo video.
Yeah.
Cut. Okay. You have to believe in what you're saying, Bill.
Well, I don't.
He's a little.
I don't believe nothing.
I don't believe in nothing.
All right. Give it some
He's
passion.
all over this.
It's
He's so
all
over
right.
it.
It's okay. There's something to live for. Jesus told me so. You did it before. You could do it again. Okay, this is take 8.
You do it again.
It's all right. It's okay.
Okay, that's fine. You gotta watch your teeth too, because they clack a little bit when they loosen up in the mouth. And take 10.
They clack.
It's all right. It's okay. It's something to live for. Jesus told me so.
You got it right there. That's it. Wrap.
Bill, you couldn't ask for anything better. I think it was recorded too high. Give it all you got. What take is this?
Yeah, anyway.
This is take 16.
That is American Movie. Go watch it. Where can you watch it? You watch it all the time.
You can watch it on Fandango.
Fandango. I think there's other places too, but yeah, it's a great movie. They're really interesting personalities, and
There's funny scene, man, where he has to cut that movie, and his baby mama drops up the 4 kids, and damn, they have a sleepover at that college, and all they do is cut and dice all night.
yeah, I could not cut and dice.
Well, I don't know what they call when they cut and
Splice. Cutting and splice. Yeah, the splicing film.
well, cut and dice.
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't know where that came from. Yeah, he's splicing film.
Yeah.
He's using the Steenbeck machines in that university, and I think he's bartering shampooing the carpets at the university.
Yeah.
In order to use their rooms late at night, and I couldn't find them in the editing rooms, but basically, yeah, his kids spend the whole 24 hours with him, or however long he's there. Scroll up. Well, maybe that might be it right here. I don't think so. Summer editing.
Department outside of Mitchell Hall. The film department's in the basement.
There it is.
And we're editing Coven in the summer here. No one else is around, you know. We're sleeping overnight.
He's smart though. You gotta give him that. To think about that and using. People spend hundreds of thousands going to film school to be able to use their equipment. Not anymore, but back in the day, they did. There's his guitar mastery right here. There's the Sweetback machine right there. So yeah, you cut it with a little razor, and then you put this little special tape on it. Yeah, that's him. How did you find this clip? I forgot this one.
That's funny, guys. We're gonna have a cool sleepover. My buddy Mike Shank is gonna play music.
Hey, in order to be cool though, and what's serious.
And you guys want to use the bathroom? Good luck.
I don't know if this is when the kids are there. That might be them spending the night first, and then the kids come the next day. I think. You know that Mark? He's not an unattractive guy. With the glasses and the hair and everything together, and his attitude, it becomes really.
You haven't smelled his smile yet.
I'm sure. Yeah, he just seems like man. I don't know. He had dreams.
Shout out to Mark, wherever you're at.
Mark Borchardt and R.I.P. Mike Shank.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to talk about indie movies pretty much the next few
Gus
weeks.
Van Sant,
Gus
my
Van
man.
Sant, Robert Rodriguez movies, Quentin Tarantino movies, other Spike Lee movies. If you have suggestions for other indie movies that you want us to talk about, you want us to add in there, let us know.
Thing to do in Denver when you're dead.
Those are some of your...
The Funeral.
Yeah, Funerals. But that's out. Abel Ferrara, right? I think so. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we'll talk about a lot. So, thanks for watching. See you next week.
Hey, them. See you next time. Suck it now. Do you even binge?